Hi guys, welcome to Make 2 and episode 20 of our Let's Build a World in Minecraft Pocket Edition. Here we are in Maketopia. I've been having a lovely little nap on this island, just off the coast of Maketopia. A lovely little towel, got my drink here. And today, after a refreshing night's sleep, I'm going to give you guys a tour of our world. This series has been going for 20 weeks and we've built loads. So let's skate over the water. I want to show you everything, including, there's going to be an amazing shout out. One of our viewers has made an amazing creation that we're going to show you guys later in this video. And we're also going to show you some new building that we've done over the last week. First of all, here's our cruise ship out in the middle of the water. This was such a big build, really fun. But building in the middle of the ocean takes a while. Now let's head back to land. You can see in the distance here, this is our original Tranquility Bay Resort. This is where it all started. I originally scoped out the land and started right here. I think it was the orange hut, no, the blue hut I think was the very first one I ever did in episode 1, and since then expanded the resort to have 4 huts and then this cool little restaurant out on a pier and a cool little boat. And there's some cool little things over by the side, so a little shack up there and a nice place to relax by the beach, looking out the other way to when I woke up this morning. And you can't even see, although you can just in the distance see the cruise ship. Now, as this is episode 20, every 10 episodes I say that I'm going to give a download to this map. And I've done the same this week, so take a look in the video description and there will be a link to MCPE Universe for getting the latest map for episode 20. Moving on, we now have our modern mountain home, sunk straight into the mountain. Cause of some fire in here, but I've managed to contain that. The fire is still not out of control in there. Fingers crossed. This is super modern. There's some more ultra modern houses that I built last week that we'll see later. Let's head inland now. That's the end of the beach. Oh, I almost forgot. Here's the back entrance to that super modern mountain home, and inside there's a car park with 2 super fancy sport cars. How could I have forgotten that? Now from here we get into the roads. God, I built so many roads in Minecraft Pocket Edition. I'm not quite an expert, but I've built miles of the things. Here at the back of the resort you have some leftover shacks. This shack here was one of my favourites actually. We then go along this road, another car park over there, and here we get to our farm. Quite near the beach, but some good fertile land around here. Some fences around that tough little cave, you don't want anybody falling in. Here's our farmhouse with a chimney with smoke coming out. Here's our barn, which I think has got to be one of the cutest things I think that I've built. They're sort of copying pictures online, but I just really like the shape of it. And from the front it looks like a sad little face. So, I don't know, it just, and there's a storm cellar inside, of course, with Superman's, the spaceship that he flew to Earth in when he was small, the kind of mock-up made of a few silly blocks in there. And there's a couple of tractors lying about the place, a whole bunch of hay bales. Here's a place with the dogs, and there are still, oh, these poor dogs are still there. They're doing okay. They're doing okay. There's a scarecrow. And then here is our farm itself. Over here are our cows and things. Now I think maybe they fixed this in the latest version, 0.12, because these animals have been staying around for much longer than before. I mean, well, cows have got in where they shouldn't, sheep are roaming where they shouldn't, but, you know, most of them are still there. That's pretty good going. No one has eaten my flowers, and that's important. Now from here, from the outside of the farm, we join up again with a sort of dirt road that snakes all the way around this sort of forest by the edge of the farm. And we take it over this bridge snake our way around. And then we made a cool little tunnel, which took us, I'm going to try and navigate speedily through this tunnel, and that took us really from the countryside area of Maketopia towards the urban area. Because once we get out here on the other side, you can see that we join up with everything urban. Here you can see the start of our town. This dirt road merges with more of a country highway. It's a bit small here, and since then my roads have got even bigger. So you can see right ahead of us here, this is the main highway for the main town in Maketopia. Now, I know I promised new content. Stay with me a little bit longer and we will get there, I promise, as well as a special guest appearance. Here's our main street. Now from here, last week, you can see what I built with these two super modern houses. I think they look so cool. I would happily live in either one. I think the 12 by 12 house won out in the comments, but it was pretty close. A bunch of you liked both of them, and some prefer this, some prefer that one. You can see here our zoo. Well, it's kind of a zoo. It's an internal ecosystem with some crazy animals inside and this massive gold crown on top. Now, heading back to the main street, here we have our police station. That was really big. Loads of you wanted to see a police station in Maketopia, and this is a really big one, so I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing that. Very nearby, just over the road, to match the police station, is a fire station. Now this fire station is modelled on the Lego modular building fire station, and I tried to replicate it as best I could in Minecraft without getting into silly massive scale, but I really did learn a thing or two about how in Lego you can make buildings interesting and how that can translate into Minecraft, so adding lots of little bits onto the front and the sides. I just think it worked really well. And you can see also down here we have a fire truck. It's a pretty nice fire truck. I'm sure others of you have done better. Now here's our little street off the main sort of big, oh gosh, see over there, that's an ocelot. I don't know how, I can't tame the ocelot. I don't know how, it just seems to be a bit crazy. I don't know why it hasn't run away, but it hasn't. Now on this street, next to the fire station, we have some brownstones. This is sort of really urban living right in the heart of Maketopia town. Now these are based on brownstones from New York, and they're pretty compact. You can imagine a whole bunch of people living in there. And now as we move down the street, there's lots to build over here still. But here we get to the centre of the main town in Maketopia. This is the city square, along with Tudor House. This is an old Tudor house that's now just used for a bunch of, cute little shops and maybe a museum. In the middle of the park we have park benches that for some reason all their trapdoors have gone wonky. I think that must have happened in the 1.12 update. Maybe they did something to trapdoors. But you can see we've got lighting all the way around. These have a bit of a 1930s feel to them, I think. A little bit interesting. There's a car on the road, and you can see I've built the road snaking off into the distance, actually going over the river there. Now this was really cool. This is a sculpture that I copied off an amazing builder on YouTube. Completely 100% copied, and it's awesome. I could never have done this myself, and it looks really good. So I'm really pleased that's in our town. And now we get to the final part of the stuff you've already seen if you've been paying attention for all these long weeks. The town hall. This massive town hall in Maketopia. But let's get to the new stuff, huh? If I just turn around, head over here. It's getting dark, so I'm going to go a bit quickly. You almost can't see it, it's so big. But if you can see in the distance here, I've built a town sign. Now this was a suggestion ages ago when we were still by the beach about what things to build, and someone had the amazing idea of doing a town sign, and I was like, well, I don't want to do it until I know where I want to put it and I can do it justice. So eventually I worked out a good spot to put it, that's nearby the town, but also nearby to the beach. So it's kind of in the middle of where we are so far. Now this is really big. This I think is what we could consider pixel art, and on this, before we finish the episode, I promised you a guest appearance. Now take a look at this photo that our friend Erneric showed us on Instagram, I think. This is absolutely amazing. Erneric, who's also been a guest of ours for one of our neighbour videos we got to go and see, his amazing build in his Sims Freeplay town, said this took him 2 weeks to build. I have no idea how he did it, but it looks amazing. Erneric, thanks so much for that. That is absolutely incredible and an inspiration for me building this town sign. This is also pixel art. I found a font I liked and I put it into MS Paint on Windows, and from there I scaled it down until it was pixel sized. I then printed it out and then I just set to making it. It did take quite a while. I went kind of one row at a time all the way along. I think it's 127 blocks wide. I don't know why I remember that, and I don't think many of you care. But, you know, it's pretty big, and it took quite a while, and it's got some lighting around it, which I think works really nicely. So this is the new part of the build for episode 20. Let's get a bit of a closer look. And we can just sort of snake around. It's like a giant Hollywood sign, except it's got these massive support structures, these support columns in different places. These are really big. These are actually pretty fun to build. Now I think they look really good in this nighttime light. Columns all the way around, and just to give you a peek of what it looks like from the other side, there's a lot of glowstone. And for some reason, though I don't know why, it does go through wool. Some of the light does seem to come through a full block, so that's really cool, so you can see it lit up at night. So that is it for this episode of Maketopia. We've seen a whistle-stop tour of everything I built in 20 weeks. And for those of you who've been along for the whole ride, thanks so much. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for all your comments and suggestions and for your support. I hope you keep enjoying the series. We've got an amazing town sign, but we've got an amazing world sign, because this is more than just a town, but there's so much more to do. I will definitely be expanding more of the city, but I also want to take, as I've had 10 weeks of building the city, I now want to have a little bit of a break and have some time also doing other things too. So I'll be flitting between the city and maybe some individual builds elsewhere in the countryside, just to do some more interesting different stuff. So as I said, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think. If you have any great ideas, do let me know, but please bear in mind there's only so much building I can do. Otherwise, thanks again to Erneric, and thanks to you guys for watching.